Hello my dears and welcome back to my, oh look, I forgot to get rid of Bernard. Hello my dears and welcome back to my corner of the internet. I'm Shannon and today I thought I would tell you about all the books I read in October. Okay, so we're just going to jump on into this and I'm going to do them in the order that I read them, starting with the first one that I read at the very beginning of October and work on through up until the most recent one that I finished on the afternoon of the 31st. And the first book I read this month was also my lowest rated, and that was William by Mason Coyle. I had high hopes for this one. First of all, look at that cover. Terrifying. Second of all, it just sounded really interesting. It's about this married couple and they live in this sort of secluded mansion. They're both really good at what they do. The wife is, she works in tech and she's a businesswoman, and the husband, he's really good at building robotics. And one night they're having a dinner party and the husband takes this as the perfect time to show everyone this new robot that he's been working on, William. And from there things go downhill quickly for them. Like I said, I had high hopes for it, but for me it was incredibly predictable. I called the ending twist minutes into starting the book. I told my husband, I was like, I think this is it. But I hoped I was wrong. And up until the very last pages, I hoped I was wrong, but I was not. So it gets 2 stars from me. The writing was good. It was well written. I just, for whatever reason, it just did not work for me. After that, I read, let me see here. After that, I read The Midnight Feast by Lucy Foley. This one was a 3-star. I read every Lucy Foley book when it comes out, even though I never really love any of them. But kind of in the same way I feel about Riley Sager, I keep reading them because sometimes they're just crazy enough that I enjoy it. I enjoyed reading this, but there's so much wrong with it. This one, out of all of her books, is the craziest. The craziest. There were some parts I was laughing out loud reading, which I don't know that was the intended response. So I gave it 3 stars because I did enjoy it. 3 stars because I did enjoy it, but no higher than that because I just couldn't. I couldn't go any higher than that. So basically this is about a woman who is opening up a wellness retreat in the English countryside. Back in her past, something bad happened, and now it's all coming to the forefront during this opening weekend for this wellness retreat. Ooh, after that, I read Sugar by Mia Ballard, another very, beautiful book cover. This was 5 stars. I loved this. And when this comes out, I don't think it's out yet. When this comes out, definitely check it out. It's about this woman, and the book opens up and she's like, my husband, I've got to kill him. And then she does. And then it's the aftermath of that. There's a witch involved. The twist at the end is so wild. I did not see it coming. And that's rare. That's rare for me. So when you can get me off guard with a twist, I love it. And this book was so good. So good. If you like those unhinged women doing unhinged things type of books, which is my bread and butter, you will love it. Oh, next up, we read So Thirsty by Rachel Harrison. This was a 4-star for me. This is my second Rachel Harrison, I think. I keep meaning to pick up the other ones like Cackle and Black Sheep. And I think there's another one, maybe Doll Parts, something like that. So I got this one because I knew it was a vampire, and I love vampires. And this was fun. It was fun. It's about 2 girls who are going away for one of the women's birthdays. I think she's turning 37. So her and her best friend are going out of town for her birthday, thanks to the birthday girl's husband, who kind of worked to arrange this. And while they are away for her birthday, they run into a gaggle of vampires. Something bad happens. What is on this cover? It's a pizza. Something bad happens, and they turn into vampires, and it becomes a whole thing. And I had so much fun reading it. The cover's beautiful, and I would definitely recommend. All right, after that I read The Woman in the Cabin by Becca Day. First of all, let me just say I hate the book titles that are like the blank in the blank. They're accurate. This is about a woman in a cabin. But I just hate those book titles. I feel like they went through a phase in like the 2010s where it was super popular. And it's still kind of lingering. Anyway, that said, I gave it 4 stars. I enjoyed the story. It's not an incredibly unique premise. It's like a woman lives in a cabin in the middle of nowhere with a crazy man. And, I've read a few books like that. And every time I enjoy it. And the same was the case for this one. I don't really know what else to say without saying too much, but I would definitely recommend. And again, that was 4 stars. So she's basically out in this cabin with this man. She's lived there for 10 years. It's her husband. She acts like the perfect sort of 50s housewife. Dinner's ready when he gets home. The house is immaculate at all times. She is immaculate at all times. And then you figure out pretty quickly that things aren't what they appear to be. And at the beginning, she finds a letter from the woman who used to be his wife. And it all kicks off. Oh, after that, we read... I don't know why I'm saying we read. I'm guessing because for all of these books, I've made book talk videos to share with you guys. So I feel like we've read it. Mapping the Interior by Stephen Graham Jones. I love Stephen Graham Jones. This book is very tiny. If you want a place to sort of kick off and give him a try, this is the place. This is about a young boy. I think he's 12. And he lives with his mom and his brother. And his dad died when he was very young. But one night he starts to think that he sees the ghost of his father in their house. And he sort of goes out of his way to try to see more of that ghost. And it's beautiful, it's heartbreaking, it's upsetting. It's written in the way that only Stephen Graham Jones can write stories. If you know, you know. He's incredible. He's incredible. That was an obvious 5 stars for me. Next up, we have Katherine House by Elizabeth Thomas. This was a 4-star for me. This is about a elite school. I think it's a university in America, I believe. It gave me British vibes, but I don't think it was British. In America, and it's the type of school that like everyone's heard about, but nobody really knows the details of it. They just kind of know it's there. It's fancy. It's not for everyone. Like, you have to be invited there. And if you are invited, it's free. It's a full ride. Food, lodging, education, all of it. But once you end up there, you see that things that are going on there are a little intense. A little... It's been a long day, you guys. There's scientific experiments going on. They're experimenting on the students, and then students are experimenting on the students, like depending on what field of study you go into. And the promise is once you leave Katherine House, you can do anything that you want in the world. Every door is unlocked for you, career-wise. And it was very interesting, and I enjoyed it. It's a slow burn at first. For the first 100 pages, I was like, what's going on here? Because it's a lot of, they went to class, they went to a party, they talked to each other, they're studying. But then once it gets going, it's really interesting, and I enjoyed it quite a bit. Then we have Wicked Jenny by Matt Hilton. This was another 4-star. This is one of those stories where it's like a group of friends, something bad happened when they were kids. Now they're all grown up. It's like 20, 30 years later. And the past has sort of come to reckon with them. And I love those types of stories. This one I thought was very uniquely done. And I really enjoyed it. I really, really enjoyed it. And I would definitely recommend. And then the final one, which I don't have a book talk up on this one because I just finished it on the 31st, but there is a podcast episode up on Spotify if you want to listen to me and Krista talk about it, and that's The Shining by Stephen King. Look at all these tabs. I love The Shining. I know some people don't care for it, although it's a very highly rated. I think it's got like a 4.3 on Goodreads, which is incredibly high. But I know it's not everyone's favorite, but it is for me. There's something about Jack Torrance that really gets to me. He's one of my all-time favorite horror book characters. And I love this story. I love the movie. Even though they're incredibly different, and Stephen King hates the movie, but I like it. And I loved this. This is about, in case you don't know, a man named Jack Torrance and his wife, Wendy, and his son, Danny. And they are going up to be the winter caretakers at a hotel in Colorado called the Overlook. They close down during the winter because the weather is so extreme up there that there's no way that they could afford to keep the road cleared so that guests could come and go. So they get a caretaker to go up and stay there the whole winter. You're isolated, you're stuck. You cannot leave. And Jack's like, that's fine, I got work to do. I'm writing a play. It'll all be good. It's all good. You don't have to worry about us. Wrong. You do have to worry about them. Slowly, the hotel begins to creep into this family, and Jack in particular, and he starts to really be influenced by the ghosts inside the hotel. Jack's son, Danny, has a power that they refer to, that he's told by one of the employees at the hotel before he leaves for the winter, who also has this gift, that it's called the Shine. And he can hear people's thoughts. He can read people's emotions. And he is very, very, very susceptible to the energies in this house. Which is why I always believe, this is a spoiler if you haven't read it, but it's never explicitly stated. But, right, Jack also has it. The Shining? It's why he's so incredibly influenced by the house. As the days go by, he gets more agitated, and he was a bad alcoholic before moving up there. He's got 19 months sober, but all of a sudden he's acting again like he used to do when he would drink and be belligerent. And I love it. I love this book. And it's 5 stars. So that's all the books I read in October. How many is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Wow. All right, 9 books. Love that. Let me know in the comments down below. Do you think Jack also has the Shine? Let me know. Anyway, you guys, thank you so much for watching, and I hope you're having a great weekend and that you had a great Halloween, and I will see you again very soon. Bye.